So if we're adding imperial units, that means that we're talking about the American system, the system that uses the feet, the inches, the yards, the miles. Now, where this really does come into effect is a lot of construction, a lot of home renovations, and basically anything to do with some kind of construction or something that you're going to have to use your hands for. Because in Canada, we use a lot of things that are based off of imperials, or using 2x4s, which is in, well, 70 years ago, they were actually 2 inches by 4 inches. Now they're lower amount, but that's a discussion for another day. So we're adding imperial units. We have to consider that we have typically the feet and inches. A lot of things are going to be feet and inches. You might deal with some things that are yards, some things that are miles. But yeah, most of the time that we're going to be dealing with feet and inches. So if I want to find out how much pipe I need to buy, and I need a piece that's 2 feet long, a piece 5 feet 4 inches long, and 7 feet, and another one that's 7 feet 2 inches long, how much pipe do we need? Well, one thing that we need to know is what these symbols mean. The first one is that 1 apostrophe means feet, or feet. The 2 means inches, sometimes abbreviated as just IN. So the easiest way to do this is we add up the full parts. So if we had 2 feet, we had the 5 feet, we had the 7 feet. Yeah, I'm just going to change these just for, so you can see, these are adding. Because you can see that this looks very confusing when we have 2 feet plus 5 feet plus 7 feet. Well, the T just looks like addition. That's one reason why it's sometimes useful to use that apostrophe. 2 add 5, add 7. Well, that works out as a total of 14 feet. But we can't forget about this 4 and this 2. Well, if we have, start off with the first number, 4 inches and 2 inches, that would be 6 inches. So therefore, in total, we'd have 14 feet, 6 inches. So in order to find out our solution, we have to add the feet together, and we have to add the inches together. One thing that we need to note is that there's 12 inches in a foot. So just as a kind of side note, one thing we can know is we could potentially convert all of these into inches. 14 feet, 6 inches. Well, that means that we just have to convert that 14 feet. We know that in 1 foot, there's 12 inches. Grab my trusty dusty calculator. 14 by 12. Feet would cancel off, and we'd have 168 inches within just the 14 feet. But if we add in those 6 inches, a total 174. Now, this dimensional analysis is the way that I showed in the first section. Of course, we could show this in the proportional way. 14 feet in 1 foot. There's 12 inches. So x would be 14 times 12 divided by 1. It's still going to give us 168 inches. A lot of times we can convert inches to feet by dividing by 12, and any kind of remainder is leftover inches. So for example, if we want to convert 51 inches into feet and inches, it doesn't mean that we convert it into feet and then we convert it into inches. Feet and inches is the way that we wrote it like this. This is feet and inches. So one thing that we can do is we want to convert these 51 inches. First off, we want to convert them into feet. So by doing the dimensional analysis, there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So if I took 51, times 1 is 51, and then it'd be divided by 12, so 51 divided by 12 will be 4.25 feet. So what that means is that we have 4 full feet. Now, there's multiple ways of doing it. I know I like showing this a slightly different way in Foundations 10. But since we have 4 full feet, 4 by 12 is 48. That means that in 4 feet, there's 48 inches. But this is a total of 51 inches. So if I took 51 and I subtracted 48, I'd have 3 inches left over. That means that 51 feet will be 4 feet, 3 inches. Of course, you could also write that as 4 feet, 3 inches. Similar way that we can do 62. If I convert 62, similar way, 1 foot is 12 inches. So 62 times 1 divided by 12. Technically, I don't need to show this bit of work because I know that 62 times 1 is 62. So if I just took 62 and divided by 12, I get 5.16 repeated, and that would be feet. So that means that there's 5 full feet and then something left over. 5 feet. So we need to find out what is that left over. Well, 5 feet, there's 12 inches in a foot, that works out as 60. So if I took 62 and subtracted 60, I'd have 2 inches left over. So that's saying that 62 inches is 5 foot 2. Or you could write it as 5 feet 2 inches. Now you might be looking at a question like this and saying, oh yeah, this is already in feet and inches. Perfect. 4 feet, 35 inches. 2 feet, 56 inches. But hopefully you see that there's a little bit of a problem. 35 inches, well, that's way more than a foot. 1 foot is 12 inches. Same thing with 56 inches. That's way more than 1 foot. So what we need to do is we need to convert them into the proper way of writing feet and inches. 4 feet, 3 inches. Long story short, this inches needs to be less than 12, no matter what. It's probably the easiest way to do it is let's take 35 inches and let's convert it into feet. 12 inches, 1 foot. 35 times 1 divided by 12 is going to be 2 points. 916 repeated. So that means that there's 2 feet in here. How much is left over? Well, if I take 2 times 12, 2 times 12, it's 24. If I took 35 inches, that, subtracting the 24, should be 11. So just the 35 inches is 2 feet 11 inches. But we can't forget that this question already had 4 feet on top of it. So we add it up all together, we get 6 feet 11 inches. So 4 feet 35 inches is 6'11". Do the same thing here. 2 feet 56 inches. Well, 56. Now, usually with the hash marks, it's not really nice. I just like showing my inches so that we can properly cancel them off. 56 times 1 divided by 12. Actually, divided by 12. I get 4.6 repeated feet. So that means that I have 4 feet. But what is that 0.6? Well, that's 4 feet. 4 by 12 is 48. So 56 inches. And I subtract off 48. I'm left with 8. So just the 56 inches would be 4 foot 8. And then we have to add in that remainder 2 feet. We're just 6 foot 8. So if 2 people were to say, hey, I'm 4 feet 35 inches, and another person says, I'm 2 feet 56 inches. Well, which one's more? Obviously the 4 foot 35 inch. But properly, you would say it as 6 feet 11 inches, or you could say it as 6 feet 11 inches, or 6 feet and 8 inches. Right. And last example. Right, so with this last example, Mary's trying to calculate how much baseboard she would need for a room shown below. What's the minimum amount of baseboard she'll need? Well, a baseboard is like the black strip that's all the way around our classroom. It's on the floor. That's what a baseboard is. Just in case you didn't know. Some people have brown wooden type, some people have black, some people have white, some people paint theirs other colors depending on their color scheme. But this question is how much baseboard needs to go around this entire room. So obviously we have a room, there may be a closet or boot rooms. This is a doorway. Well, we need to add all of this up. Well, the only difference is we don't need to have baseboards around the door. So there's no baseboards around the door. So if we're talking about baseboards all the way around a classroom, the word you should be thinking about is perimeter. What is the perimeter of this room? Now, there's multiple ways that this could be done. Long story short is, if we just go one step at a time, we can do a lot of our work. For example, if we were to start here, let's start on this top right corner. 15 feet 8 inches. So just like the very first example we did, we just had to add the feet and we had to add the inches. Dealing with just the feet, we have 15 feet. Dealing with just the inches, we have 8 inches. So if we go this way, which yes, seems a little bit counterproductive, but this is counterclockwise. Going to this corner, we're going to add another 9 feet 2 inches. So if we add 9 feet, we add 2 inches. Now we've covered this side, and we've covered this side. Okay. Let's make this our next stop, 6 feet 6 inches. So we add the 6, add the 6. We have this side covered. This side is 27 inches. Well, that's just 27 inches, so there's no feet there. Yes, of course, if you had converted this right away, you see that that's 2 feet 3 inches. But either way, we have this one covered. And then if we go to this corner, that's 5 feet 2 inches. So 5 feet, and add another 2 inches. Oh, there we are. Now we have a problem. We don't know what this is. Oh, yes we do, because this side would have to be the same as this side. If a building was actually built properly square and yada, yada, yada. But it's another 27 inches. So that would cover that side. Now to here, we have another 9 inches. We don't have to put baseboards around a door. Yes, if we're talking about going around the door frame, that's a different thing, but we're just talking about baseboards. Then we can skip this. From this point to this point is another 9 inches. So now we got a problem. We don't know what this is. Well, the good news is we do know what this entire side would be. This entire side is 9 feet 2 inches. Here, I'm gonna make this yellow. I'm gonna make the pen a little bit thicker. There we go. This entire side is 9 feet 2 inches. So herein lies the bit. We know that from here down to here is 9 feet 2 inches. But there's this gap here. Well, this gap here is this part. So really, by adding 9 feet and 2 inches, we have this part covered, this part covered, and this part covered. So the 2 final bits that we have to do is just this part and this part. And since this is 24, so is this. So we add 2 more 24s. And then we just have to add it all up. So let's see, just the feet. 15, add 9, add 6, add 5, add 9. We're at 44 feet. Adding all this up, 8, 2, 6, 27, 2, 27, 9, 9, 2, 24, and 24. It's 140 inches. So we can say that our final answer is 44 feet and 140 inches, right? No. Unfortunately, this number, this inches, is not less than 12. So we have to convert the 140 inches into feet. 12 inches is 1 foot. So 140 times 1 is 140 divided by 12. That's 11.6 repeated for feet. So we know that that's 11 full feet. And then we just have to see what's left. So if we took 11 and multiplied by 12, that's 132. That 140, subtract the 132, means 8 leftover inches. So just the inches part is 11 feet, 8 inches. Add the total, add that 44, giving us a total of 55 feet, 8 inches. Or 55 feet, 8, going back to common habits, 55 feet, 8 inches. Alrighty. That gives you some work time.